Welcome to Stun, baby. This is the list that got first place locals. This is also what I've been testing online. For those of you that have paid attention on the stream, you probably have already seen this list. There's been one change because we have a Mystic Mind player at our locals, which I basically made a compensation choice for that matchup in case I ran into him. So we curve stomped. Okay, well, first up, just disclaimer: just win the dice roll, 5-head, and you can be really good at this deck. And I think that's a life lesson for a lot of this format, is if you just win the dice roll, you have a very good chance to win. Alright, so that's my full disclaimer on Stun. So, just win the dice roll and you can be good at this game. Going second, you'll have to break some boards. Sometimes your opponents will brick and you'll be in a better position, but that's neither here nor there. So, monsters. Triple copies of Inspector Border. This is the best thing that we have going for us since Sliced Bread. The unfortunate downside is we're basically also a Protect the Castle based deck. So based on that knowledge, buckle up, Buckaroo, because you're going to have to protect these. Good news is if you can get the game back to your turn and get the second Floodgate monster on the field, like a T-King or a Vanisher or a Fossil Dyna, you're probably going to win. If you can get the game back to the third turn with multiple, just triple Floodgate monsters, you will effectively win the game. Alright, so this card basically is the best thing. There are some times where you open this and the Dyna, and you'll have to make the cognitive decision on which one you want to open. I do think in some situations that this is better than Dyna, though. There's a lot of decks that, yeah, can special summon extend out beyond this, but this card is really good for what it is. 2 copies of Thunder King. So personally, I think this card sucks, but it is a 1900 monster that does get the ability to stop an inherent summon that also says that the opponent can't search their deck while it's face up on the field. Keeping that in mind, that's the primary thing. This is, in fact, the weakest stun monster that is in the deck at this point in time. So, basically just a mistake on legs, and that's not very good. I do want to up this to 3. I think that this card is insanity right now. This is probably the powerhouse. This is the powerhouse. Getting the Macrocosmo live, actually we've seen this with Herald and other things this format. The walking Macrocosmo is very devastating to a lot of the combo decks. This +3 back row is pretty much a GG over. You'd be surprised on how broken this card actually is in those particular scenarios. So yes, 2 copies of Banisher being that win con that we want. And then we have 2 copies of Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. Sometimes, never. You'll set this card and you'll blow up an entire field. Things I've said to myself for 500, yeah, just top deck it for turn and set it 5-head, you win the game. Yeah, top decked it, set it for turn. It was a good time. But flip, destroy every special summon monster on the field, and to top things off, while it's face up on the field, neither player can special summon. But it's also on a 1200 body. This thing is better than every barrier statue ever made. I do agree that the barrier statues are very good, but having that, the more attack boost, that extra 200 matters in every stretch of the imagination. So, yes, this is probably the best card next to Border in your entire deck. And then, we're ballsy. We're playing Red Eyes and the Dark Magician in our deck. Now, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is, in fact, a stun monster, as far as I'm concerned. With how fast the format is and how it's developed at this point in time, I have went down the path of wanting to play Dragoon in the deck. And, hey, good news! If you, demise while these dead cards are in your hand, at least you'll get rid of them, 5-head, so that's the thing. Speaking of, alright, draw power. 1 card demise, because this is the best draw card in existence. The card just says, hey, you want 3 free resources? Sure, man! Absolutely! We have 2 copies of Duality. 3 is kinda conflicty. I don't know. I think 2 is fine in this deck. We have so many pots right now that we get to kind of pick and choose, and it's kind of where I've been on terms of ratios. We have 2 copies of triple copies of Extrav. Now, Extrav, Extrav and Duality is your best. If you don't see the Extrav, I mean, you have Card Demise. You've also got 2 copies of Desires here. So, cool thing with this, you get to play so many draw cards in your deck. It's actually really cool. Alright, so I'm very happy that we officially have this much draw power in the game to allow us to capitalize and get rewarded for this. So, hey, just draw your traps, 5-head. That's literally the game plan here. And then we have 1 Moon Mirror Shield. I really want to play 2 of this card. This card is my spirit animal, but if I play 2 of it, it's so trash. But if you draw this on a Dyna, 95% of the metagame can't beat this. It's actually absurd. This on Dyna is GG. Alright, also this card breaks boards, because you'll always be 100 over anything that you're battling. So, like I said, yes, I do want to play 2, but at this point in time, I think that one is good. And then we have triple copies of this. No, we're not playing Insight, because I don't want to put in more dead cards, because we're only going to make 1 Dragoon, and honestly, sometimes Dragoon's not even the best play turn 1. I know it's strange to say that. Sometimes Border, it's literally like Border, Dyna, and then Dragoon. But it also depends on the matchup you're playing against. If you open up the Dyna Inspector border with no back row, then you're making the Dragoon. Alright, so there's just multiple skill trees that you have to go down while making the decisions on what will be the best monster based on that situation. So I think that having this in the deck has made things a lot better. Also, they can't kaiju a Dyna, but they can kaiju your Dragoon. So that's something that you need to be a little bit worrisome of. So, triple fusion. Solemns. We have 2 warning. I think 2 of this is fine. I don't really want to play 3. We have triple copies of Solemn Strike. This kind of comes up more to protect your castle than anything, and I do think that this card is good. I might go down to 2, maybe ump the warning, but this is fine for right now. We also have the best frickin' card in our deck, Solemn J-Man. Whatever your opponent does, you can say no to. Alright, this card literally is a win con in and in itself. On a Dyna board with protection and a judgment backing it up, you can blank your opponent's normal summon to force the game back to your turn. Because 95% of the time they can't do anything about the Dyna. So that's the power that you get with this card. And it's actually pure insanity. Alright. We have 2 copies of Sword and 1 copy of Wings. These cards kind of suck, I'm going to be honest with you. But they are built-in protection for your monsters and additional attack boost for you to battle over threats. So you do have to play them based on that. I think that this is the perfect ratio. I don't want to bulk down on any more than this. And these do become side-out targets in certain situations. 2 copies of Storming Mirror Force because destroying... And most everything has a protection clause right now. The only time this comes up is if you're playing against Grand Manju and then you just cry because you don't have actual Mirror Forces. Because you're just going to have to deal with Grand Manjus again on the next turn. But, hey, you know what? That doesn't matter. Alright, so... I think for most intents and purposes right now, Storming is just better than regular Mirror Force and better than Drowning. Just getting rid of the threat back to the hand is free value. 1 copy of Imperial Order. I know I've said in a lot of discussion videos that this card is busted in this deck. It really is. Setting up 4 back row with this included with a Dyna means that you can't get Lightning Storm, you can't get Feather Dustered. It just guarantees you're going into a winning position. Triple copies of Crackdown because stealing the opponent's monsters is really good. If you've got a stun monster, I feel like a Banisher or something, and your opponent normal summons a threat, you can take it. So that's, once again, like, this also answers immediate normal summons. And then 2 copies of TC Boo, because this plus Dragoon is the absolute nuts. Resolving that ensures that you're going to Pound Town on the opponent. Alright, extra deck. What matters here? Triple copies of Dragoon, because relevance. You have to play 3. No. We have triple copies of God Slime. Probably might drop these out for something else. I don't know. Triple Mega Fleet comes up. triple copy of Mud because I wanted to play Super Poly. I didn't play Super Poly. I kind of want to play Super Poly, but it's up in the air. And then we have triple copies of Stardust Dragon. Because, yes, Starlight Road's a good card. Alright. We also have side deck, triple copies of Dark Rule and No More. Those full broken Emancipator boards, just kidding. Broken boards in general, just draw this plus monster to recuperate. It's really good. Then we have one Feather Duster because I have a Mystic Mind player at my locals and it makes me sad. So we have to actually have this to out things. I know, it's bad when Stun has to bring the Feather Duster. It's so bad. Triple copies of Evenly Matched because go second, activate this card, blow our opponent out, and then establish Stun board. This card lets us go second. It's really good, actually. Look, it says I don't lose to Feather Duster and I don't lose to Lightning Storm. Also puts 2,500 body on field. Free real estate. So good. And then we have triple copies of imperm. We had a Grand Manju player running around local, so watching a big giant Manju come onto the field, and then you imperm them, and then they go, but why though? Why though, Robbie? Why did you imperm me? Really good. And then we have triple copies of wiretap, because I don't want to lose to evenly match or imperm. Alright? This is the anti-cheese card against the opponent. So, nothing says, hey, shuffle that imperm back, shuffle that evenly back. Alright? It's, if you play against other control decks, you get to use this to stop their judgments and their other establishing cards, and you just win. So, yes. Mainly just exists to stop imperm and evenly from ruining my day. So, what a counter trap, let me tell you what. So that is the current stun update for what I'm playing and what I've been testing. And we did go so far as to win locals with this bad boy. So guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about the build. I look forward to reading all of the, oh boy, Robbie, just let it die. Just let stun die comments down below. And yeah, guys, that's all I got. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.